How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a Q&A. So this Q&A is going to be a little bit different. Instead of asking you guys on Instagram, I've enlisted the help of my friend Mr. Wills FX. He is in the building and he's going to be asking me some questions that you guys might want to know the answer to, the question. And hopefully you'll find this video interesting and entertaining. But yeah, let's get into the first question.
So when you were learning to trade, what was the hardest thing you found when you were maybe learning a strategy or risk management? What was
I've named you now, so yeah.
When you were learning to trade?
Oh
Why
my
does it
god!
matter what it sound like?
Because I can't understand what you're saying. No, I actually can't.
When you laugh at my normal voice. Great.
No, okay. I'm serious now. I'm serious. Okay.
When you first started learning to trade, what was the most difficult thing you had to deal with? Whether it was finding a strategy, risk management, dealing with psychology, what was the toughest aspect of learning to trade?
For me, it was definitely the strategy element of it. Now, the reason why this was, and I've said this before in videos, is there are a lot of strategies out there and they will throw different marketing techniques at you and they will tell you that this is the golden way to do it. This is the right way to do it. This is the most profitable way to do it. Some will be more focused on these, crazy entries. Some will be focused on these tiny SLs with huge take profits, and for some of the strategies, for example, the more simple ones, such as, like support resistance or trend lines, you're almost alienated against them. People tell you that you're not a good trader if you trade those, or you can't be a good trader if you trade those. And all of that is complete nonsense. So when I was getting into trading for about the first 2 years of it, I was jumping around from so many different strategies. I went from support resistance, trend line, patterns, candlestick patterns, and then I got into the realm of SMC and ICT. And as a lot of you know from a previous video I've done on this, it did not work out well for me. And so yeah, I think for me the hardest part was finding a strategy that was good but also simple, because a lot of them are overcomplicated. So I'd say for me the hardest part was finding a strategy, and what I can suggest to you guys, if you feel like you're in a similar position, is try and shut it all out and just focus on one thing. And it doesn't matter if it's support and resistance, it doesn't matter if it's trend lines. If you've back tested it enough and you know that it's profitable, and more importantly than anything, you understand it, because I think some traders get certain trading differently. I don't get SMC or ICT, but there are traders that do get SMC and ICT. But there will also be those traders that don't maybe find as naturally easy as the way I trade. So it's down to what you find simple and what you can get over quickly. So my advice would be choose one, see if it works. If it doesn't and you've given it enough time, try and find something else. But yeah, I'd say for me, a strategy, finding a good one was the hardest part for me.
Do you feel like the majority of traders fail because of the expectations set by social media influencers?
Yes, I do, because I guess not so much now, but I definitely did fall victim to it. Social media is a double-bladed sword. It's really good because you have some good people out there that will give you honest information, whether people will like to hear it or not. I'll say a lot of the time that aiming for 3 to 6% in a month is really, really good. Like, that's a respectable amount of profit, for example. You will also have the people out there that will tell you they make 1 to 100s, and it's quite hard to not compare yourself, and it's quite hard to stay in your own lane, I guess, because you see all these people maybe doing better than you, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They may be in debt, they may not be profitable, they may have faked it. There's a lot of things that you don't see. Obviously, social media is about showing the side of things that you want people to see, not everything. So I would just say with social media, it can be very good, but it is you know, especially with trading, sometimes quite difficult to not compare yourself and not to feel left behind, because social media definitely puts a certain perspective out there, especially for Forex. You know, I think is one of the worst, you know, industries when it comes to social media, because a lot of it is not true. So yeah.
If there was one lesson that you could teach a brand new trader, it's their first week in trading, what would you teach them? That one piece of advice.
The lesson or the advice that I would give to someone that's just starting out now, whether that was beginner me or anyone that's getting into Forex right now, I think the best piece of advice is to be patient. And I think it was something I struggled with, and I think it's something that everyone has when they get into Forex. It's that I'm going to make money quick, or you have that first winning trade and you think that you've just unlocked the secret to everything. And it takes a while to realize that it does take time, and it does take effort, and it does take patience. You know, even in smaller things, like in the video where I bought an account back from 10% drawdown, that took patience. And a lot of people don't have that. I've seen people that have risked it on news and blown it, or just purposely lost it to start again fresh because they don't have the patience to build it back up. But then also you have the wider aspect of things being, you know, you expect that you're going to be driving these crazy cars or have these crazy houses, and realistically Forex isn't that, especially in the first 4 or 5 years for most people. Obviously there are some anomalies, but as someone that's been trading trading Forex for sort of 3.5, 4 years, I can tell you now that it is not a quick process. Maybe it takes longer for some compared to others, but yeah, I would say that patience, both in your trading but also in the fact that how long it takes to play out, is the thing that you need to sort of keep focused on and always have.
Do you think there's anything that you could do in your life outside of trading that will benefit your trading performance? So whether it be certain exercises, routines, diet changes, you know, do you think there's anything in particular that will help?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things, and I wouldn't say I'm the stereotypical not guru, but person that will say you've got to wake up at 5 a.m. and then meditate and go for a run and do all this stuff. I'm very much a believer of do what works for you, because not everyone is someone that can, obviously they can wake up at 5 a.m, but not everyone is as productive in the morning as they are at night, and certain things. So in terms of outside of trading, what do I think or recommend? I would definitely say, and this can be whatever you want, but it has to be something that makes you uncomfortable. So for me, hopefully you can tell, is the gym. It puts me in a level of discomfort. It's difficult, but it is also rewarding, and it builds discipline. And when I go to the gym every day, I'm building into my brain that I still do things that I don't like to do. Now that can then come into trading, because discipline, as we all know, is vital in trading, whether that be discipline on your strategy, whether that be discipline for trading the certain hours, whether that be discipline for back testing, for journaling, whatever it is, it will help you. So it doesn't have to be the gym. It could be reading a book. It could be going for a run. Whatever puts you in some level of discomfort, do it every day, and that will help you build discipline. Because I am a big believer of what you do off the charts reflects on the charts. And I've found, for example, since finishing university, I think at university there's that student lifestyle, of course, and it doesn't, how do I say this? Like, it keeps you in the mind of a student, which is fine for most people, but for someone that's trying to build a business and to be a trader, when you're thinking like a student, you're not doing the things required, or you're not doing all the things required. So I found at university, for example, it was just very difficult to, keep that discipline. But the minute I've left university and I've now sat down and gone, okay, this is my full-time, thing now, whether it be trading or my other businesses, as I've talked about before, I need to be serious about this. And now I've found that it helps. So having yourself in a good environment, doing something you don't like, and building discipline, those will help your trading improve. And as I said, what you do off the charts directly benefits you or disadvantages you on the charts.
If you were starting trading tomorrow, what would be your first step?
As a side question, is this now knowing what I know now, or if I was a complete, if I was telling someone right now, how do you start?
You don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
You have zero.
Okay, so I'm starting from zero.
You know what you know now, but you won't tomorrow. But you can tell yourself the first steps.
Okay, using what I know now. Okay.
But you'll have no knowledge tomorrow.
Yeah, but I can give myself one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the one thing that I would tell myself to do tomorrow if I woke up and I didn't know any of it and I wanted to get into trading, I think the first thing I would do is, and I'll probably sound like a broken record because I say it's quite a lot, aside from the obvious, obviously, of set up your broker and stuff like that, or use baby pips, but the first thing that I would do, or the thing that I would tell myself to focus on, is structure. And again, I've said this so many times, but the minute I understood and learned structure properly is the minute my trading drastically changed, in the sense that my win rate improved, my direction improved, my trades improved, because I was getting direction right a lot more because I was understanding structure. And it wasn't a complicated change, it was a change that helped my trading massively. So if I was starting out from scratch and I could give myself one bit of thing, one advice or one bit of advice to focus on, it would be structure. And it would be learn structure, not just, in an uptrend, you've got a higher low and a higher high, and in a downtrend, you've got a lower high and a lower low. But really look at it, look at good break, where breaker structures count, what lows count, what highs count, how does, it need to be broken, what to do if it doesn't break, things like that. So anything structure based, that would be what I would tell myself to start looking at from scratch, and only look at that for the first sort of few months, so I truly understand it. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Hopefully you found some of these questions useful. Hopefully you found it interesting. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, and I will see you in the next video.